Have you ever shouted at your kids and then immediately felt guilty afterward? I've been there too. One day, I had a meltdown that made me realize something had to change, not just for my children, but for my heart as a mother. In this video, I'm sharing the simple biblical approach that helped me stop shouting, how I started responding more calmly, and the small habits that are slowly bringing more peace into our home. Motherhood is beautiful, but it can also stretch your patience in ways you never expected, especially when you're raising toddlers. There was a day I will never forget. My boys were playing in the living room and toys were everywhere. One of them spilled water on the floor and the other one started crying. I had already had a long day, and before I even realized what was happening, I shouted. Everything went silent. My boys just looked at me, and immediately I felt terrible. Not because discipline is wrong, but because the way I responded wasn't the kind of mother I wanted to be. Let me ask you something. Have you ever reacted in anger and then wished you could take your words back? That night, after the kids slept, I sat quietly and prayed. I asked God to help me become a calmer mother. Not a perfect mother, just a calmer one. One Bible verse kept coming to my mind. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. That verse challenged me because I realized something. Most of the time, I was doing the opposite. I was quick to speak and quick to react, but slow to pause. So I asked myself a simple question. What if I paused before reacting? Even if it was just 5 seconds, would that change anything? So I started practicing a small habit. Whenever the kids made a mess or refused to listen, instead of reacting immediately, I tried to take one deep breath. That small pause helped my emotions settle. Let's be honest for a moment. If adults struggle to control their emotions, imagine how hard it is for toddlers. They are still learning how to talk, how to share, and how to manage their feelings. Sometimes the behavior that frustrates us the most is actually part of their learning. When I started thinking about that, my perspective began to change. Another thing that helped me was lowering my voice. When children are loud and chaotic, our instinct is to shout louder. But I noticed something interesting. When I spoke more calmly, my kids often became calmer too. Not every time, but often enough that I kept practicing it. Here's something you can try today. Instead of shouting across the room, walk closer to your child and speak softly. You might be surprised how much their attention changes. Another important thing I started doing was apologizing when I got it wrong, because sometimes I still lose patience. And when that happens, I sit with my boys and say something simple. Mommy shouldn't have shouted like that. I'm sorry. And something beautiful happens in that moment. They learn that mistakes can be repaired, and they learn what humility looks like. Here's something every parent needs to remember. Trying to become a calmer parent does not mean you are a bad parent. It simply means you care enough to grow. Another habit that helped me was prayer. Not a long, complicated prayer, just a simple one. Lord, help me respond with patience today. And sometimes during the day, when I feel my frustration rising, I whisper that prayer again. Slowly, little by little, things started changing in our home. Motherhood is a journey of learning. We won't get everything right, but every day gives us another chance to grow, another chance to show patience, another chance to model grace. And sometimes the most powerful lesson our children learn is not that their parents are perfect, but that their parents are willing to change. If this video encouraged you, consider subscribing for more videos about motherhood, calm parenting, and building peaceful routines at home. And I'd love to hear from you. What helps you stay calm when parenting gets overwhelming?